Hi, I'm Delayne Sigerman. I'm currently on Kerrville City Council, Place 4. And when the COVID pandemic started, I became interested and curious to know how the businesses and the people in Kerrville were handling this pandemic. So I started doing interviews with various people, and I think today marks our 14th interview. And it's my pleasure to have with me Clayson Lambert, who is Director of Public Relations for VA Dogs. And he's going to tell you a little bit about VA Dogs and how they've handled this challenge with COVID-19. So Clayson, tell us about VA Dogs first so that we know what it is you do here.
Well, thanks for having me, Delayne.
Sure.
We're an organization that's a little bit more than 7 years old now, going on 8. I've been with them for about 6.5 of that. Okay. And it all started off with the local Elks Lodge here in Kerrville. They had allocated $15,000 to be put into some form of charity. They weren't sure exactly what they were going to do with that, but finally elected to start training service dogs and giving them away to disabled veterans at no cost. They found their first trainer that happened to be in Bull Verde and had her start training dogs for them. And we were looking for dogs at local pounds and animal shelters and that sort of thing. The idea being to take a rescue dog, one that wouldn't have a life otherwise, and give it a purpose and a good life and help out a veteran at the same time.
That's wonderful.
We went on with that for a number of years, and then I'm going to say approximately 2.5 years ago, we decided to get our own 501c3 and keep the name Veterans Assistance Dogs of Texas, and we gave the original seed $15,000 back to the Elks Lodge so they could start another charity with that.
Okay.
So we've been following our mission pretty steady for these years, and every year we've pretty much grown. Last year we had our best year ever. We trained and placed 13 service dogs.
Wow.
Our average cost on those is somewhere between $24,000 to $26,000 on average.
Wow.
We're kind of proud of the fact that we have a very low overhead and a minimal staff, which enables us to come in at that price, where probably the largest organization doing that in Texas, up near Dallas, claims that it's about $33,000 to $35,000 for them to train a dog. So that allows us to give out more dogs and help more people.
Great. So you're located off of Spur 100, and you have a facility here. And tell me a little bit about what happens here, and then I know Kathy's going to talk to us later about the actual training. But if someone wanted to visit here or just know where you are, tell us about your location and what you do here.
Well, we're located on Spur 100, 601 North Spur 100, even though there's not a South Spur 100. And we're adjacent to and just after the Freeman Fritz Clinic.
Okay.
We've purchased this property, I believe, about 5 years ago and had it cleared, put in significant improvements on it, 2 entrances.
Very nice entrances too.
We have an office here, and we also have a small veteran home that you can take a look at here in a few minutes.
Tell us about how challenging it's been for you for the last couple of months.
It's been pretty shocking, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're working from home now. We don't spend a lot of time in the office. But the main thing that we found out, the most disturbing issue, is the fact that many of the foundations that have been very helpful in funding us over the years have contacted us and told us not to expect anywhere near what we have seen in the past. As an example, a number of years ago, we got a check from Petco, who's been a wonderful sponsor, for $85,000. This year, that check is $15,000. So we obviously have fixed costs that we have to adhere to. And so the lower the amount of funds that come in, the fewer dogs we can train and the fewer veterans we can assist.
Right.
So we're concerned about that. We're going to have to depend more on independent donors and maybe businesses to step up where these foundations are cutting back.
Just how can people help?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the foundations are kind of saying, whoa, we're putting on the brakes here until we find out what happens. Our fiscal year isn't over until the end of June next year. So we've got a long way to go. And we're kind of hoping that there's individual corporations or local businesses, as well as individuals that would like to donate and help us out. they can go to our website. It's vadogs.org, and take a look at what we do, some of the dogs that we've trained. They're more than happy to call me with additional questions. And there's a donate button on that page. If they feel like they want to help out a little bit, they can.
Good.
I think there's an opportunity there to do a one-time or maybe a few dollars every month as they can. And we'd appreciate that very much. We're very much proud of being part of the Kerrville community, and we're glad that these dogs come out of Kerrville and Kerr County, and that the county and the city gets acknowledged for that.
Well, we're proud of what you're doing and the fact that it is here too. And now I'm here with Kathy Ryder, who is in charge of the actual training that takes place with these dogs. And since I'm a novice at this, I'm going to let her just tell you a little bit about what she does and how a veteran actually gets connected with his new partner dog that will be with him to help him through life. So Kathy, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I came to VA Dogs in January of 2019, I believe. And when I came on board, I revamped the training cycle, as it were, and brought on board one of my lifelong friends, Mike Clemenson, with Hill Country Dog Center. And he has professional dog trainers, which has really helped us with our training and our time in training. And what we do is when we bring in these dogs, a lot of times the shelter dogs and the pound dogs have baggage, and we have to work with that and work through that. So we take these dogs and we get them through training, and then we take the personality of the dog and what the dog is and match them directly to the veteran and the veteran's needs. So we look at the veteran and their lifestyle and what their disability is and what their needs are, and match them to the best suited dog to their lifestyle. And so hopefully that match will make a better partnership and a lasting partnership.
So how many dogs right now are in training for a veteran?
We have 22 dogs in the program right now. Several dogs have completed training and are waiting to be matched to a veteran. We're fixing to start a class this Saturday, and we have 6 veterans slated to start class this time. And some of the dogs are in various stages of training, and some are, I think I've got 3 dogs awaiting training, so they haven't even started training yet.
Right. So you probably have a waiting list, I would imagine, of maybe either veterans that are in need of a dog. Is that the case?
Yes, we always have a long waiting list of veterans. We're contacted every week by veterans. At one point, we had about 1,000 on our list, and we're down to about 100 we're working on. And we have about 30 applicants or so that are in various stages of background checks, home visits, and things like that.
So the home here that's for veterans is used in what way? At what point are they here with the dog?
We train the dog in stages. So like phase 1 is obedience, phase 2 the trainers train public access. In phase 3 they train specifically for the disability needs. The final phase is the veteran training and the veteran orientation, and that's where the veteran gets the dog and learns to handle the dog. In that phase, we bring the veteran wherever they are in the state of Texas, whether it's Amarillo, Houston, Dallas, wherever, and we bring them here to Kerrville, and they actually do classroom training where they learn to everything about how the dog was trained, basic dog maintenance and care, and the principles behind the training. And then you'll see us out and about in Kerrville. But what we do with this home is they stay here in this home for the weekends that they're here training. So we provide this home to them so they don't have to go out and spend money on a hotel room, because everything we do for the veterans here is provided at no cost to them.
So on an average, how long does it take to train a dog, and has that changed from the time it started?
Yes. We used to average about 14 months to train the dog, and now we're down to about 4 months average. And it varies. Some dogs are a little bit more difficult than others, and we have to take a little more time with the dogs. And I credit that all to my trainers.
Okay, that's it, folks.